Hello again and welcome back to the chassis variant series for myself, Critical Rocket. We're still with the Vipers and this time we're on the C configuration. Now the Charlie configuration was built specifically around the idea of mech hunting, vehicle hunting and infantry hunting. It was equipped with a Beagle probe, meaning in urban environments it could scout about and detect any powered down mechs and also use its very quick abilities to discover enemy infantry and any vehicles that may have been lying in wait. To this end, it was equipped with quad machine guns for dealing with any infantry or soft targets it came across, and some flamers for, well, let's face it, you'd rather be shot to death than burnt to death, wouldn't you, as an infantryman. Its only backup against enemy mechs, however, was 2 ER medium lasers. Now, in MechWarrior line terms, this means it's equipped with 5 energy hardpoints and 4 ballistics hardpoints. The ballistics are split between the left and right torsos, 2 in each. You've got single energy in the head, and the remaining energy split between the arms. Downside, lose your arms, you lose a significant amount of your firepower. Upside, you've got 4 ballistics in your side torsos, which in today's current meta of the light machine gun builds, it definitely means that the Viper can be a particularly deadly combatant, especially with its speed and its jump jet abilities. It's one that I actually quite like. I did like running this variant. It's actually the first time I'd run the Charlie variant, as when I originally got the pack I didn't have access to the Charlie or Delta, and I felt the match was quite close. Whether that was any contribution by oneself or not, it was a good fight. I enjoyed it, and I definitely can see the benefits of using the Charlie variant. It's very, very good. I mean, if I was going to customize this, I suppose I'd rip out the flamers, and maybe drop this down to having something like small lasers instead, and switching the machine guns to light variants. So I've got extra weight available, maybe for a couple of extra heat sinks to deal with the small laser use. Or maybe switch them up to heavy machine guns now that I've dropped the tonnage a bit, and use them like that. I don't know. I think you've got a few ways to go, but it's definitely one of those mechs you want to use the ballistics hardpoints with, as I think if you're just going to ignore them, I think you're missing out, to be honest. So it's definitely one to recommend. If you haven't tried it, give it a go. If you're in the area of picking up some Vipers, if you saved up your C-bills, I'd always pick the Prime, because the Prime's a pretty good mech to start with, and it's a nice base chassis to then buy the other Omnipods for. And if you really, really like the mech, obviously you can then just buy it outright and sell the spare Omnipods. But yeah, this is quite a fun little design. Obviously, one of the downsides of it is that the 2 ER mediums are located in one of the arms, and the flamers are located in the other. So if you do ever run it stock, just be aware that you want to poke with your left-hand side of your mech, not your right-hand side. But outside of that, the actual default configuration can work quite well. I found that a couple of subsequent playthroughs after recording this, I did find that it works well in tandem with heavier mechs, in the sense that when they're engaged you flank around the heavier targets and you just burn them, so the heat is constantly spiking, and that way your friendlies can do way more damage, and that allows you to very quickly get into the fight in another location, power down another mech and continue on. And your machine guns can strip some of the parts very quickly. Oh, I remember this bit, this bit in the match was there were 3 of us, and I think we were all overheating, so we were all just powering down one after the other. So that was a thing. Also, holy shit! I mean, you don't see these very often nowadays, do you? In the old clan side of things. So yeah, this was a really good fight. I did enjoy it. I've said that multiple times because it was a good fight. I did enjoy it. Haha. No, I'm just trying to padding it out for time now. I'm not even hiding it. There's not really much else to say about it history-wise. The clans really were. The clans really were a bunch of boring gits, really, weren't they? Because there's no sort of style or flair to the background of the variants coming out, really, is there? There's just sort of like, yeah, we need an urban version, this one's a sniping version, this one's a harasser, this one's a frontline combat unit, this one's a scout, this one's a support. I don't know, it's because there's no necessity. In the Innisphere, everything was born of, well, we need a mech that does this, alright, well, we'll contract such and such to make this mech. And it kind of went from there. I know it's inefficient, the clans are way more efficient, I don't know, it's just not much style, not much fun there, is there? So plus it robs me of anything really extensively to talk about, whereas the Innisphere ones I can talk about the version a lot longer because, oh well, they had to build it because of this reason and such, they didn't have access to this this weapon system, so that's why they got made. And and the clan stuff is, they've got everything, it's better than the Innisphere, and Omnitech just makes it all fucking bit easy anyway, so don't worry, it's simples. So yeah, it's difficult to talk about a lot of the clan stuff without just being like, yeah, it's got this, it's alright, bye. Or something along the lines of, it was built by this clan, they'll never get seen in MechWarrior Online because, hell, they don't get seen very often in the books, so bye. That's basically it. But yeah, the Viper Charlie is a good one. 5 energy, 4 ballistics, can't go wrong with that. And yeah, definitely want to pick up if you're going to collect them. Or if you haven't had a go, if you fancy having a go with the Viper yourself, it's very fast. XL320 and all of them, which you can't take out, unfortunately. It's the downside. But this round's nearly over, so I shall leave you with that. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have a good week, and I'll see you next time. Bye!
New target acquired.